Should we what? I'm going to try to do the intro without looking at anything. I'm just going to wing it. Let's go.
Let's see how that goes.
We're going to see. Welcome back to Unpack Your Bag Podcast. We are your hosts, Tony Perks, the wonderful Chantal, a.k.a. Shantizzy in the building. Yay! And this is a place where we unpack our bag as it pertains to truth, love, passion, and culture. And today, dating.
Turn me up.
You always gonna be turned up every time. Like turn up, turn down for what?
Turn me up. I got a lot to say.
No, we're talking about dating and who is it harder for, men or women? When I say marriage, we're talking about dating particularly.
Dating.
And dating is, when you meet somebody and you want to like go on a date and be romantic and all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. So the question is, who has it harder? The men or the women? And as a gentleman, I'll let you go first. So ladies, go first. Chantal, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so I just have some clarifying questions.
Okay.
So are we talking about like who has it harder, like on the day of the date? Like, you know what I'm saying? The actual day of the date, the paying for it, the picking up, all of that. Who has it harder in that aspect of it? Or like in dating in general, who has it harder?
In general.
Okay.
We'll move to that particular section after, but we'll do the general first, okay?
In general?
Yes.
I think it's tough.
Okay, explain.
I think it's tough because in general, I feel like I can only talk about this as a woman, right?
That's okay. I'm talking about it as a man.
But I think in general,
okay.
I think low-key, I think women have it harder.
I knew what you were going to say. I knew it. I was waiting for it.
Low-key, I think women have it harder.
Here we go. All right.
Low-key, I think women, I mean.
Okay, so what is your stance on it? I mean, you're speaking from a woman, so from a woman's perspective. So what is your stance on it just from
because
that?
Like the reason why I think that women have it harder is because men don't always understand the concept of like dating other people, right? Okay. So for like, I feel like there's like a stigma attached to women who are dating multiple people at one time, which is why I think that we have it harder. So if I'm dating guy A, right? And guy A and I are really having a good time feeling each other. Guy A at some point is going to ask me if I'm dating anybody else, right? Even though there's no parameters, we just kicking it. We ain't never had no woman conversation, right? Okay. It hasn't even led up to that point. If I tell guy A that I have a friend, guy B, guy A is going to feel a certain kind of way. And because of that, like that could potentially like shut down the dating aspect of our relationship. Does that make sense? Okay. For that reason, I think it's harder because if a man were to be like, I'm dating this girl and this girl, whatever, like, I don't know if it's as taboo for a guy to be dating multiple people at a time. I really don't. I think if a woman does it, it's like, well, why are you still seeing him? When's the last time you saw him? Do you really like him? Like, we get like the fifth degree and it's like, yo, bro, calm down. Like, I'm single. I'm single. Single people do single things. I have lots of friends. You know what I mean? Like, and all of them aren't female, right? And some of my male friends take me to dinner sometimes. And, I like to hang out with them too. So it's like, why is it an issue?
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Like, I just...
No, okay, because I think... Okay, so I guess from my perspective on it, I don't think it's as taboo as you think it is. Okay. For women to date. I mean, I'm not a woman, so I don't really know what the conversation
But like
happened.
from your perspective,
but from the men, I'm trying to think...
If like
I
you
was on a date
girl,
and she's told me she's dating other dudes, I don't even think that question would really come up until I felt like I wanted to date you individually. I don't think I would really care as much until the point I'm thinking like, this is probably after a few dates.
That makes sense, right?
But of initially first date in general, I don't think I'm going to be asking like, hey, who are you dating? Or whatever. No. You know what I mean? After a few dates where I'm thinking, okay, I'm feeling you out. You kind of cool. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, we matching, we vibing, we got the same kind of goals and stuff, you making me laugh and making you laugh.
So at this point, you have intentions for...
Yes, like
for girl A.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, okay, maybe this could be a potential relationship.
But here's the problem with dudes, though.
Okay.
Dudes aren't always forthright and upcoming with their intentions, right? So even though you're asking this question with the intention to be like, I like you, I want to see you more, you're not forthcoming with that intention when you're asking the question. The question is usually like, well, who are you seeing anybody else, right? And it's
that's to test the waters to see what your answer will be to see if I can move forward or not.
But your intentions don't translate to my intentions, right? So just because you have the intention to move forward and I have the intention to do single things.
Right. So I'm not gonna just say like, hey, we're gonna be together. I'm gonna fish before just to see like if you're dating people, okay, you're not on the same page. That's why women have it harder
because I gotta figure out why you asking me these questions. Not only that, because if you have the intention to ask that question, like I like her and I want to kind of hang out with her and kind of fill it out a little bit, and you're just asking, why are you dating somebody else? The minute I tell you yes, you're instantly going to feel some type of way because you are moving with the intention like I want to see her. But I don't know that, right? So you're going to feel some type of way and then you're going to treat me different, right? Like you're not going to be as forthcoming with the calls or texts. I'm going to be like, you going to step away? And I'm like, yo, what's wrong with dude? Like I've experienced this. I've experienced this. Okay. So it's like, well, I don't know. Like first we was calling and kicking it and all of a sudden he tripping. You know what I mean?
Okay. So all right. So before I go to that point, okay. So let me see my synopsis of if it's harder for men or women. And I thought about this earlier, and I was really thinking about it. And I have to say, honestly, I would have to say women probably have it harder in the initial dating. Okay. I would say this, and because this is one reason. Women 1, men 0. Just kidding. I'm coming back. Don't trip. I'm coming back because of this. Because okay, for example, say you are born with like a hideous face, like you're just butt ugly, like it's just like,
wow, that's a terrible thing to say.
Beauty
is in the eye of the beholder.
Okay, to some degree. Okay. No. Disclaimer. I mean, some people might. Ooh, there's a large majority of people that will find some people. But anyway, so
you are not a nice person.
So think about it this way. If I'm a guy and I'm butt ugly, like I'm horribly trash, like my face is just like disgusting, like nobody find me attractive.
That's not nice.
If I make enough money, I can be more attractive. But for women, they don't have that same exact luxury because men don't like hold money at the same value.
That's not true.
So
it's not money, but it's something else. That's not true. But
okay. So if it comes to initial attraction, like we were going on the dating scene, if you see somebody you think is butt ugly, but they have a bomb ass car. There's a potential you can talk to the guy because, like, he has some money. Maybe he's successful. Maybe he knows some people. Blah blah blah. Cool, right?
I mean, that doesn't float my boat, but I see where you're going with this. I'm not saying for you,
but
I see where you're
women,
going with
like
this.
in general, there is a comfort measure of knowing that a guy can provide security.
Security for sure,
right? So if you see a guy with a lot of money, it's in turn to some degree security and stability. Okay. So you're like, okay, well, this guy could, he may not be the best. Maybe she's looking pretty good, he's not the best looking. But hey, that Ferrari, he's very dressed well. It looks like he take care of his business, whatever. Right. That could be a move.
Even though he don't have no teeth.
Veneers, baby, veneers. You know what I'm saying? All right, so. But as a woman, I don't know if it translates the same way because we're not like the initial for guys is more the attraction phase up front. So even if you have a lot of money, it doesn't hold as weight as for men having the money compared to the women. So then it's like if you're just dirt ass ugly, like butt ugly, like trash. So and then on top of it, and you could be successful, right? But are you really going to be getting as many guys as a guy would if he was ugly of money? I don't think it translates the same way. So I see that's why I say for the dating in general, I would say women have it a little harder because if I'm butt ugly and I make money, I can still get it. But if one makes money and is ugly, it doesn't translate the same.
It's interesting that you say that, right? Because my mind went to a few places when you were talking. Okay. The first place it went was like, yes, even if a woman is butt ugly, like she could still get a dude. Yeah, for sure. She could still get it. Like I've seen, I'm not gonna call nobody ugly, but you've seen some.
We know people on both sides.
You've seen some matches where you like, she got a man, right?
Like how did he get with her, and how did she get with him?
So look, so there's that. But then another thing I thought of was like, if a woman walks into a bar, right, and her looks are questionable, and she wants to get laid. She will probably 9 times out of 10 get laid.
She can.
Okay.
She can.
Now flip the script for a dude. Okay. If a dude walks into a bar and he's average, not disgusting, not fine, right? Like a 5, 6 out of 10. If he also walks into a bar with that same intention to get laid, his chances are 50-50.
Probably less than that.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like Two out of 10.
Yeah.
To be honest,
right?
2 out of 10. Unless
So
you make some major bread, 2 out of 10.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, so
you better have fucking game. You better have
that's what
charisma.
I'm saying. So the sex part of this is really what alters the conversation, right?
Okay.
Because if a woman wants to get laid, she can.
Yeah.
Right?
It may not be who she necessarily wants, but she can.
She can.
Her options are
right?
much higher in that regard.
If a dude wants to get laid, maybe. Right?
Very questionable.
Maybe. Right? Like maybe, depending on who you are. If you got game, then if you got game, you find you're charismatic, your chances improve. Right?
Yeah,
but if you were a regular schmegular dude, it's 50-50. And if you a ugly chick, you could like 9 out of 90%.
Yeah,
right?
okay. But okay, so let's go with that point. I think you're right. Yes. A ugly girl can definitely pick up sex easier than an average guy. 100%, right?
But okay, go ahead.
But I mean, that's the only part it's going to really play factor in. That's the biggest factor it will play in. Like if you talk about the sex, but anything beyond that, it's going to be like, okay, because like think about it, like you can get the sex, like no problem. Like but are you really going to go on more dates after that with that person? Is it going to be is it just a one night stand? Is it like, this is more long term? Because like those things, like people will consider a little differently. So that's why.
So I'm glad you brought up these things.
Okay.
Because I made that point just to say this,
Okay.
to address those questions that you just asked.
Okay.
Which is this. If the ugly girl gets laid, right? And the dude is like, yo, that was fire, right? Like that's just really incredible sex. He will come back.
He will come back, but
Pause. Not only will he come back,
Okay.
depending on how she leverages that thing between her legs, he will start to buy her dinner. Like a dating relationship may incur, right?
It's a possibility.
And then at that point, if a dating relationship does incur, if he continues to come back, then at that point she has the chance to really wow him with her dazzling personality because she's not attractive, right?
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. So in this situation, I really believe that women hold all the cards and could potentially date anybody they wanted to for what I just outlined.
Okay, so let me give you the guy's perspective.
Okay.
That is partially true.
Okay.
I agree a part of that. The problem is, it may make you go back a few times. I'll give you that. It could go back, yeah.
Okay.
It better be like, it better be doing everything I can ever think of. Like, all right, yeah, But then, okay, so think about it. Is these really going to be dates where you're going out and he's just treating you like perfect, and you guys are going to be in a relationship type of thing?
Nope, it's not that at all.
Because some guys are like, maybe I don't want to go out and be like out. Maybe I just wanted to like see her and like Netflix chill type of thing all the time.
Netflix chill, buy you McDonald's. I'll bring you a burger.
I'll bring you some food, but I ain't gonna take you out nowhere. You know what I mean?
I'll bring you a burger.
So like that's something that is important for guys, like the way they look in public with their person. So that might be a thing that you can get laid up front, and you may have a relationship behind closed doors, but it may not be a relationship to the world.
But what if you find out behind closed doors that she's like
Michelle
Obama?
I'm not saying it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible.
Right.
I'm not saying it's not possible.
Like these are like the extreme scenarios that we're both painting, obviously.
Yeah, it's
but
definitely
like,
possible.
If she's like Michelle Obama without the face,
like bomb everything,
she
the bed
cook,
is great,
she cleaning,
everything.
She make you feel good.
If she has all those with the personality and the feminine energy,
right.
Yeah, it's possible.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's possible.
That's what I'm saying.
It is possible. Because that feminine energy is probably the most important piece of all that. Like the attraction and the feminine energy is like, boom. Like that will get any man. So like if you are, I'm not gonna say the word, but
submissive.
Yes.
Yeah. No, but
like if you are the type of person who like really knows how to like treat their man well and really care for them and be that type of like really feminine type of woman, yeah, like that goes a lot farther.
Yes, the catering, the support,
but you got to get him in the door.
First.
You got to get him in the door first.
So what I'm saying is that women, if they wanted to, they could get the man in the door.
It's possible.
That thing.
But hopefully that's not just the front, like the like let me do this right now to get him, and then really show him who I really am later on, like because guys be like, hold up. Okay, so
I've heard.
Okay, so that was a general dating, and you said something
like specific, like date and like.
So yeah, the date aspect of like going on the first, second date. who do you think has it harder? I'm obviously gonna say the men.
Men do
100%.
100% have it harder.
And I think also
100%.
And to be fair, even in the original part, like the general like dating, it's still pretty. Women have it a little harder, but men have to take the initial like get fucking rejected part, which is really hard to do.
Okay.
So I will say that's something that women don't have to deal with as much necessarily in the dating scene because they're getting approached.
Gotcha.
But that mess is really hard to overcome.
Okay.
Like the psychology of openly getting rejected numerous times and not feeling a certain way about it, and then getting back up and be like, let me try it again the next one. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that shit hurt, you know?
I was listening to something this pastor that I listen to on a regular basis. And he was saying something like women need to kind of ease up on men a little bit, because sometimes the man that you want, right? He could be assertive. He could be all of these things. He could be assertive. He could be a go-getter. He could be, you know, be able to provide security and financially and things like that. But sometimes that man will not make the first move, like will not approach you in public, right?
Yeah.
And just because he doesn't approach you, right, without any sign or whatever that you're interested, doesn't mean that he's not this kind of man, right? So women have to get that out of their heads. And he made like a really good point about exactly what it is that you were saying. He was like, you know, we out here getting rejected on a regular basis, right?
Yeah.
But just because we're getting rejected and we're more hesitant to make the first move or to say what's up without any sign that you're interested in, you like us, doesn't mean that we're not assertive. It doesn't mean that we're not, you know what I mean, dominant or providing security and things like that most women ideally want from a man. The same thing that you were talking about with women having that femininity piece, right? Just because he's not approaching you with, you know what I mean, no indication that you like him doesn't mean that he's less masculine.
Right, for sure.
Was the point that he was making. And I was like, damn, like, you're right.
And you know, and there was something with that too, that if the woman has an open type of energy to her that I feel like I can come and talk to her, I probably would. But if I feel like they're closed off, or I feel like they just, I'm not gonna go up and I'm not gonna go up into a wall and be like try to break it. You know what I mean? Like, if I feel like if I feel like I see you having a good time, I'm having a good time. Like you just like talking and just chilling, not looking like, hey, like what you look, you know, I'm like that's gonna be like, oh, I ain't gonna go over there.
Women got
even
that RBF.
Even if I like you, I'm like probably not gonna do it.
Yeah, and women got the RBF face for sure.
Oh.
I'm not cussing. I'm not cussing on live TV no more.
Okay.
I'm not doing it. We got that RBF, right? So our resting face is like.
And you know that.
And that's not approachable, right?
It's not.
Like it's not. If you sitting there like.
Like I was watching an interview with somebody, and it was a guy and the girl, and they were talking, and she was like, "I'm tired of men always like." Oh, the guy was like, maybe you should just smile more. Yeah. That's what he said. Like, maybe just smile a little more often. And she's like, what if I don't want to smile? What if I don't want to do this? And I don't want to smile more at people. I'm just not in the mood to smile. And he was like, okay, well, don't complain when men aren't approaching you.
Yes.
If you over here looking like
mean,
you mean, and you want to get down with somebody. Like, I'm sorry, but like, that's not something. Who wants to come up to somebody not smiling and just be like, look, hey, what up? Like,
it sucks. It sucks because as a woman who like my face comes off very mean. Like if I'm not smiling or like engaged in, like my face is just mean. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. It's not that I'm in a bad mood, but sometimes my face just look mean, right? So as somebody who does need to be conscious about, you know, smiling and stuff when you're not in a bad mood, like just to soften up your edges a little bit, you know, ladies, that might not be that's not bad advice. Let me say that. It's not bad advice. Sometimes it feels a little condescending coming from men. I'll say that. Okay. But that's just a personal thing.
Yeah. And I like you said that because it's a feeling. It's not necessarily, that's not true. It's just a feeling that the way it was delivered or whoever delivered it. But the information was, if you smile more, it's more open and, you know, it's more pleasant.
Because if not, you look really mean.
It's pleasant.
And
you know?
Upset. And like you're going to stab me in my sleep. I don't know.
I'm like, I'm not going over there.
I don't know.
Not going over there.
Just speaking as somebody who has like a really deep RBF, like I just be knowing. Just be knowing stuff. So
you know what's really interesting too.
I'm speaking from my experience
about this conversation because I was watching. There's a show. It's on YouTube called Jubilee. I think it's called Jubilee. But they end up having like these like questions for men and women, all these different like topics and like men questions instead of women questions and. it was like older generation men versus like new age men, and there was one guy, he was like in his probably 40s, and the other dudes were like in their early 20s, and they were like, the question was, who pays on the first date? And some guy's like, man, it's 2021, man, we ain't paying for no first date. And I'm like, what? Like, I was so shocked, I was so shocked. But what I'm finding out now, these new age of men that is coming, new age, not 30 and like maybe 20. I'll probably say before the age of 25 at this point. Is there really like the feminist movement of like being equality shifts them the thinking? I'm not saying it's their fault, but I think the ideology of women want me to come and really independent on their own. The men are like rebelling against them. Like, if you want to be on your own, why am I paying for the first date? And they're really, the dudes were like dead serious. And I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, this is nuts. For a dude to, like, I guess for me, like, for a dude to be like, it's 2021. Why would I pay for the first date?
Right.
I'm just like, what? I just think as a gentleman,
right?
If I want to go out with you and take you out, why would I make you pay?
Boom. If
it's not like you over here invite me to all these lavish places. It's like I'm the person who's supposed to take the charge and lead. So I'm gonna just, for sure on my end, I want to take you out. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't want to take you and be, hey, let's go on a date, and then get them back. Hey, get 2 bills. It's like
we gonna split it in half.
Unless you made it very clear that we were only friends and you were just an asshole the whole dinner, maybe. But even then, I'm still like, I'll pay you for dinner and never talk to you again.
It's ridiculous. I want to make this statement. It's gonna be like a way out of the way statement, but what else is new, because it's me.
Okay.
And then I want to shift the conversation in a different direction. So in regard to like this whole feminist movement done got these new age dudes talking about some, we gonna split the bill. Like, I blame white women for that.
Lord. I
know that's terrible.
Oh my gosh, no.
I'm sorry. I'm
not gonna
sorry.
cuss, but the white women, it's them.
I don't know how many women of color identify as feminist, but I don't. Okay. I don't. So when I think about the feminist movement as a whole, I think about white women. So when you said that it's because of this whole feminist movement that these new age brothers is not paying for dates, I just thought that you white women, like, that's what I thought. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm wrong.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, we'll discuss feminists on another podcast.
Okay.
But I want to shift the conversation in this direction because I was reading something on Facebook.
Okay.
About how this dude was asking this question about like how dating has become super transactional, and women are almost like being like, I don't want to say prostituting for dates, but like
you have to get something out of the date.
Yes, they're getting, like, in order for them to put out, right, in order for them to have sex with the dude, they need to be getting something out of it. Okay. Right? Financially.
Like, just stop.
Like,
hold on, we gotta pause.
Pause. Really using dudes to get like,
money, bags, whatever it is.
Hair did, all of this stuff, right? Now,
I mean, it's been going on forever. But
it has been going on forever.
But it's more like linear now. It's more like I need a number amount at this point. Like,
so let me say this: it has absolutely 100% been going on forever.
Yes,
that is undisputed. Okay, that's undisputed. Even like married couples, like I've heard instances where married women, like when they want something, you know what I mean? Like, I'll do this.
I heard, times I heard that shit. I'm like, I'm not. You're not gonna freaking try to pay me out some of this. No. I deserve this.
So okay.
No.
So that's all I'm gonna say. This shit has been happening since the end of time.
Yeah, it has.
But for whatever reason, I decided to scroll through these comments because I was a little bit bored at work, right? Okay. So I'm going through these comments on this post, and there's a sister on there talking about some, I sleep with who I want to sleep with, but if you want to spend time with me, then that comes with certain requirements, and I need to know my value and my worth and blah blah blah, right?
Okay.
For her situation, transactional dating, and sister, do what you want. Okay. Do what you want. But what I want to say is this.
You gotta say it.
All right.
Do it.
I have to. I have to. What I want to say is this. We're always talking about the ways in which women shape dating and shape relationships, right? For basically one reason, right? Is because women have that thing between their legs, and the things that men will do to get to that thing are limitless. So in some instances, women have so much power over these relationships, right? And they need to know their power and their worth.
I understand that.
All of that, great. And men talk about this. We all talk about this, right? It's like an understood
Women
thing.
have a lot of power if they know how to use it correctly. Yes.
Women have so much power.
Yes, I agree.
Now, fellas.
Okay.
I need you guys to also recognize the power you have to shape your relationships.
Okay.
For one simple fact. And maybe women did this, right?
Okay.
I don't know. But men definitely perpetuate it. Which is, if men come into a situation and make themselves out to be the dude that is paying for stuff, I got the lavish lifestyle, I can get you this, I can pay for this, you know what I mean? We can go here, we can go here. There are dudes who present themselves like that, right? Like that is the sole thing that they bring to the table, right?
Okay.
If you are going to present yourself that way, don't be mad if I treat you that way.
Okay. Meaning like, what do you mean? Like, oh, like you expect these things continuously.
Yes.
Okay.
If you present yourself that way, and there's a lot of brothers that do.
Okay.
There's a lot of brothers that do
Okay.
present themselves as providers, which is great, right? But like,
don't change up.
Overly so.
Yeah.
In the dating process, right? I'll get you this, I'll get you this, I'll get you this. We're going here, we're going here, we're going here, we're going here, we're doing this, 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 we're doing this. All of these things financially that add up during the dating process.
Okay.
If you present yourself that way in the dating process, don't get mad at me for treating you like an ATM. This is what you gave me. This is how you presented yourself, right?
Okay. So,
the same argument can be made for women who present themselves to be loose sexually, right? If you're going to present yourself like a hoe, don't be mad if I treat you like one.
That's true. That's true.
So,
that's
fellas,
true.
if you're going to present yourself like an ATM machine, don't be mad if I treat you like one.
Okay.
That's not me being transactional.
Okay.
That's not me taking advantage. That's you being an ATM machine.
Okay. I respect that because that's accountability on both sides.
That's all I'm saying.
I respect that.
That's
But
all I'm
do
saying.
you know why men do that?
That's all I'm saying.
Do you know why men do that?
I have an idea.
What is your idea?
I have an idea.
I'm gonna tell you, but what is your idea?
I have an idea that this is what they felt like they had to do to get women. But it's the same thing. But it's the same thing with women feeling like this is what they have to do to keep a man, right? The sex part of it. Like if they're presenting themselves out to be all sexually loose and liberated, like this is the same thought process that was perpetuated for them to keep a man and to get a man, right?
Okay.
So it's the same boat on both sides.
I don't think that men are wanting sexually loose women. I think that a man wants a woman who's sexually loose with them, but not just out there. Okay. But I will say this. But hold on. I want to say this because this is a good point. This is like
fairy tale land.
But this is a good point.
Okay.
Damn, I lost my train of thought. No. You said like don't be mad if I treat you this way, right? But if men were honest, they would never get laid. They would never get what they wanted if they were just straight up 100% honest about what their intentions were from the jump.
Like I just want to smash.
Yes. How would that conversation go? Hey, how you doing? Hi, you look good. I want to smash you.
There are women out there for you. There are women out there for you. The problem
hard to find because the women don't want to be talked to like that.
The problem is that look, honestly, the problem is that you approach one type of woman, right? Looking for something that she doesn't like.
Okay, no, I'll put it this way. I can walk right now into a bar when it's function, and I can walk up and ask every girl within 2 minutes, you look good. I'm just trying to be honest. Like, I want to smash. What are my chances of getting smashed? Pretty much 0. Now, if a woman walks to the club and says, hey, you, I want to smash. What are the chances of her getting smashed? 8 to 9 out of 10. All right? So, this honesty is just bullshit because we cannot be that direct. Because if we were that direct, it wouldn't work out.
Touche.
Because I understand what happened. Women want the relationship and men want the sex. So, a man will play the game about the relationship to get the sex, and a woman will play the sexual game to get in a relationship.
Yes.
But that's the issue.
Yes.
Because both people aren't being honest because both people don't want the same things.
Right.
Like, I don't want to be in a relationship. I want to have fun and have sex. And the girl's like, well,
I want to be in a relationship.
but I'm willing to have fun to get the relationship. And he's like, I'm willing to have fun.
I'm willing to have fun.
But I don't want you to think anything other. But then woman may think like, okay, if I get him and I do this and I get her right and I do all this, I can turn him. And then when he doesn't turn,
a hoe into a husband.
And then when he doesn't turn him, now she's upset. Which it's like I understand, but you know that's just the nature of the beast.
So it's not just men trying to turn hoes into housewives. Women be trying to turn hoes into husbands.
Women will be doing it too. But you know sometimes it just don't work. Some men are just like nah, and then they're. But the thing is, if you ask a man enough questions, he'll be honest. He'll tell you. Mm-hmm. He'll tell you. He will tell you his intentions of enough questions. Yes. The right question. He will tell you.
And I will almost say I think typically we're taught just in general that a person's actions, right, speak louder than their words.
For sure.
Not in this case.
Yeah.
Not in this case.
You can be really full on front. You can be like smooth operator and da. Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna give you the world, baby.
That is where that is where we're missing it, because the truth is, in this context, their words always trump, right? Because even though they're like, I told you from jump I wanted X, Y, and Z, but you were doing all these relational type things. I don't care. I told you up front I didn't want X, Y, and Z. And sometimes women be breaking their own heart because it's like, well, yeah, he said that, but he was acting real relational, and you like.
But listen. You hurt yourself. A lot of men will tell you what they really want. But this is generalized statements. It's not women, but just generally speaking. I've seen this happen so many times from my experience. You can tell someone, I don't like pizza.
and eat pizza on a regular basis.
Then they think, oh, he doesn't like going to that pizza restaurant. I'll take him here. And it's like, no, you didn't hear what I said. I literally said, I don't like this. But you interpret it as, I think it means X, Y, and Z.
Better scenario. Okay. I don't like pizza, right? But you've eaten pizza twice around me, right? So then that's where it's like, well, he must like it a little bit, right? Because he eating it, right?
Maybe I'm only eating it just to appease you.
Exactly.
But I don't like it, and I meant that. But
that's what I'm saying. So there's instances where it's like actions speak louder than words. Not in this context. When men say I don't like pizza, right, or I don't want to be in a relationship, I'm just here to have fun, but you're still calling her every day, taking her out on a regular basis. You know what I mean?
You keep wanting to smash. That's what you want to keep having fun.
Boom. But that's the thing, though. Women take that action of like the dating and the calling and doing all of this, that he wants to be in a relationship because he's doing relational things, even though he told you from jump. Yeah, he doesn't want to be in a relationship, right? So women break their own hearts because they're like, oh well,
he's acting this way, so it must mean this way.
He's acting this way, so even though he told me he doesn't want a relationship, he must not know.
Mean this and not what he said.
He must not know that he really wants a relationship with me, right? It's deep when you really think about it. Women be out here breaking their own hearts. Like he told you, and you was like, yeah, but he did this. I don't care what he did. He said.
Yeah, he did say it. And I'm not saying every man's word is bond all the time, but for the most part, when men are going to tell you something like that, they're pretty much very pretty certain, you know. So I think that's a big thing, because that happens a lot in relationships. Like literally, you'll say something, like I'll say something, and then she'll be like, "Oh, so did you mean this?" I'm like, "That's not even what I said. Like I didn't even say nothing near that, but I don't even know how you got. I literally said this, and I don't know how you thought I meant this when I meant what I said.
That communication if I meant what I said,
but the thing is, I've noticed that women tend to talk in like almost like parables. Like it's like a
parable.
No, like
Jesus.
No, it's like code. It's like code. Like it's like the mysteries in the story, and you got to figure out the piece. You know what I mean? Like,
oh my god.
And you like what? I'm like, and I'm taking what you say as like verbatim. I'm like, so you were like sewing, and that's what happened. You were literally sewing. No, I meant. And I'm like, so why didn't you just say what you meant? Just say what you meant.
Like Jesus.
Have you seen that before? The dynamic of like, I don't know if it's all women. I'm not saying all women, but just generally, I talk to women. No, I talk to women, and they'll say they'll give you a hint about what they mean. They'll try to give you hints about what they mean. I'd be like, bro, and I'm like trying to figure out like what the hell you talking about. I'm like, you did say this, so I'm gonna take it as this. No, you know I didn't want that. Well, why did you say that? Why did you just say that?
He's talking parables. Dude.
No, real talk though, like real talk.
I mean, I that's something that I'm learning, right? And
Real
the older
talk.
I get, the more I learn that, like, it's the same way. Like, if a dude says up front that he doesn't want to be in a relationship, regardless of the fact that he's still calling and texting and taking you out or whatever, like, it's for whatever he's getting out of it. He still doesn't want to be in a relationship with you.
Yeah, for
right.
sure.
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
that means. He doesn't want to be in a relationship with you. And on the flip side of that is if a brother does want to be in a relationship with you, then you won't have to guess that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, those actions will be very clear and straightforward and upfront. So if you have to second guess it, then it's probably not what it is.
And another thing I want to say that too, if you are unsure, just ask. Like, be direct and ask. If you don't know, if you don't know what we are, ask what we are. And if I give you the answers, we are just friends that have fun. Then you know exactly where you stand. There's no confusion. There's no confusion.
But when you came over and I cooked for you last week,
that was nice. I appreciate it. But we're just friends.
We're just. Don't break your own heart, ladies.
So like that's one thing
it.
I've noticed. It's like men tend to like say what they meant.
Yes.
But then it gets misinterpreted by what they think they mean, and then we will take women what they say and not realize what they meant. And then there's always this big communication, and it's happened so many times. I'm just like, what? I'm confused. I'm confused.
So confused
because I'll talk to a guy and I'll say this, and this, and it's that, and that, and then that's pretty much done. I'll talk to a girl and say this, and that, and like, so wait, so when you said this, did you really mean this? And I'm like,
no, I didn't say that.
And then I'm like, well, you said this. Well, no, I didn't really mean that.
It's
I'm
like
okay,
women's minds start going into overdrive, especially if there's no context, right? Like, women need context, okay? Like, don't just say...
spell it out. Like.
Yeah, don't just say, like, burgers ain't shit, right? Because I'm like, wait, did you have a burger? Or did you eat in the burger? Because I remember last week you had this burger and you liked it, so maybe that burger just wasn't shit. And why are you saying not shit? Like, why are you being so aggressive with your language right now? Like, is it because I'm like...
But see how the mind is turning? It's like, no, none of that ever existed. All I said was I don't like burgers. What you mean? What do you mean? And we're just confused. Like, what did I say for her to think this? Like,
women is like straight up. I'm just thinking about my own thought process for that statement. I'm like, yo, he right. We crazy. Yo, he right.
It's just we think totally differently. Like, like I'm telling you, y'all like talking parables. I'd be like, what?
Man,
like,
why is he so aggressive? Like, why would he use that? Why would he use that word instead of this word? Like,
it's like I wasn't. That was just the word I used to just say what I meant. There's nothing aggressive. I wasn't even mad. I was not even mad. I just said I don't like this fucking shit.
This is so true. And then we think you mad, and then you like what? And then it was like, I don't know. I thought you was upset.
It's like no. I just said I don't like this fucking shit. Like that's all I said.
And then we tripping because we think you tripping, and then the whole house tripping.
Yeah, and it's like, wait, how did we get here?
The whole house just out
everybody's
here
confused. Everybody's confused.
Everybody tripping. Everybody is tripping.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. So to the dating thing, I think generally, women have it a little harder. Just with the whole thing I was talking about earlier. But I think like on the first date, I think men have it harder because
for sure.
I heard women say like, this one lady said, well, you know, I have a heart because I have to get ready. I have to do my makeup and get good and da-da-da. And I'm like,
okay.
So does every single... What am I going to do? Come up there with like a raggedy shirt looking busted on the first day that I really like a girl? No, I'm going to fucking put my good cologne on, lotion up, oil myself up in case you want to go later. You know, to get my good...
myself
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I want everything to be like boom. You know what I'm saying? I want to be like boom. Like, you know, walking there smelling good, fresh cut. Like, that takes time and money.
Agreed.
And I gotta pay for me and you.
Okay.
And that means whatever it is you
gotta
just decide to order.
You gotta get gas. Like you open
possibly
the doors.
Pick you up, take you to the restaurant, pay for you, show you a good time.
Okay.
And then whatever you decide to order, I'm responsible for. If you got 3 drinks, that's $30 just for drinks. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm sober, I
don't even know you like that.
Exactly. So after like 3 times of that, you like, okay, like that. I see why some men don't want to pay.
I give it to you.
But I think you made a good point a long time ago. You had said like instead of going on a lavish date, to go to like coffee or something and do something chill.
Yeah.
I remember you said that and I was like,
coffee is like $3 each. I get a coffee, you get a coffee.
But I can afford that.
Exactly. And at the end of this $6 date, right? This $6 and hopefully like an hour and a half conversation, right? Then I'll know like maybe let's try lunch now, right? Like move slow. Don't just go to like moonlit dinners and shit. Like,
and on top of it, for all the dudes out there, if you can't afford to take a woman on a date, you probably shouldn't be dating.
Facts.
I just right here.
I'm
gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. But
buy coffee, water.
If you can't even buy a coffee, you should not be on the dating
like
market
meet
right
me
now.
at the park. Like I've had like meet me at the park. Like let's chill at the park. Like
you could be creative and smart.
Yeah, like.
But ultimately, at the end of the day, the woman is still going to want some security from you if you move forward from this. So you either have better have a good plan of where you're going, or have a big drive.
Because you can only meet me at the park like 2 times.
Before I'm like, what is going on? Like, why we never go out? Like, why we always in the day to my park?
Yeah, like we only meeting for
like,
coffee. Like we only meeting for coffee like max twice before I'm like, so.
Yeah, like coffee is cool to get to know you,
like
and then the date. You know what I mean?
Like I meet my girlfriends for coffee. Like that's not that's not.
That's just to get the set the groove. But I'll be like, so like dudes, if you do not make enough money to even go on a first date. So you
got 2 coffee dates max, and then after that.
Dude, I wouldn't even do 2. I would be like, I would do coffee date, then I would do the park date, then I would do something else
like
for free, like aqueduct date or something.
Aqueduct date.
I don't know, go up to time now and be like, hey, well, we up here.
Let's work out.
What's up? We up here, you know?
Like, but that would be one of my date ideas, like to go hiking or something.
Yeah, you gotta be. If you're broke, you gotta be creative. But just remember, after all those dates, you gotta come up, be like, I'm broke. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You gotta. It's gonna come out one way or the other. So
I suggested that a dude and I go hiking, and he was like, "What the fuck?" I promise you, he was like, "Nah, I'm about to go get mimosas." And I was like, "Okay." I remember it like it was so like gosh. you 12-year-old. Like I got.
What we going for a hike for? We like, grown. Like
I got clowned so hard. He's like, "What are you 12?" And I was like, "Wow, I like being outdoors." Like it's like forget you there, punk.
Oh my gosh, that is funny.
Yeah,
that is
so
hilarious.
he's like, I was thinking mimosas, and I was like,
okay,
fine, like I guess, but it's nice outside, right? Like I feel like a dork.
Oh my god, like, that's funny.
It's really nice outside.
That is hilarious, Chantal. You are hilarious.
I felt really stupid. Like,
okay, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, I was like, you're right. That's like, how could you suggest hiking? Like you, like I felt some kind of way. I was like,
that is funny.
Damn.
That is fun. That is so funny. Yeah, I don't know. This dating stuff, the dating stuff is hard, man. Even when I was dating, it was hard.
Just be happy you out the game.
Because let me tell you, I will tell you the truth when we gotta wrap this up because we're getting pretty far. But even when I was dating my wife, when we first started dating, like before we even started dating, I would see her at the store and I would be like, all right, because I live next to the store, so I go there pretty often. I would see her. And first when I saw her, I was like, oh, she's pretty cute. We talked, whatever. And I come home about my day, and I was like, dang, she's really cute. She had a great smile. All I remember was like her smile. She just was smiling a lot, and I'm like, that's my type. That's my type right there. She was all right. So type. I'm like, cool. So I'm like, all right, next time I see her, I'm just gonna get the number. I'm gonna get the number, right?
I'm do it. You could do it.
So I go up there. I see her, and I'm like, okay, there she's. All right, today's day. And then my ass want to go to a different checkout stand, and then just walk out the store and wave like. And then dip off. I was too nervous. Because I was thinking in my head, I'm like,
I'm gonna go check out over here.
You know why? Because in my head it was like, dang, this girl is really cool. And if I ask for her number and she says no, I'm gonna crumble inside. Because this is like this is one of those one times where I like a girl, whatever.
Right.
But it was like, I don't know why I felt really dang, like she was bomb. Yeah. Like the way we were talking, we were just like the banter was there.
Yeah.
Her smile, I was just like, I can't fuck this up. Like I almost don't even want to ask because I'd rather just not get rejected and be crumbled than just always wonder. But then I was like, you know what? Nah. It took me like a solid 2 or 3 weeks.
And then 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, but multiple times going in there.
And then after the first time you talked to her, you wanted her number, and it still took you 3 weeks to get in?
Yeah, this is also a long time ago in my early days, But I did, and you know how I did it? It was actually pretty smart.
It was smooth?
For my end, it was smart. It was a way I was foolproof of getting rejected. I said, when we're done talking, I was like, yeah, next time I come in, I'll get your number. And I was like saying that to say, if she said no, I didn't technically ask her.
Stupid.
So she didn't reject me.
I'm good.
And if she said yes, I'm like, bam, and next one
in,
come in. So then I came back next day, got the number, and I was like, all right. And then, now we're married. So
the rest is history.
So I got that Mac ability. But I'm saying for the guys, it is hard. It is hard to like face your fears and get rejected by a woman that you really like.
I mean, it would be. I feel like it would be hard for anybody. Like I wouldn't do it. Like let me just say that. Like I wouldn't be like, hey. So
it's hard.
Like I wouldn't like to create a conversation out of thin air and be like, but you beautiful.
Right?
I'm sounding all simp like and stuff. Like
it sounds simpish, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it's like
I wouldn't do it.
But you gotta do what you gotta do.
But
man,
I'm also a sucker, so I'd be like, oh, right, like, so
he did. That was
sweet.
Yeah.
So like either I'm a simp and like that's you so sweet and so cute in like a condescending way. You like, nah, nigga, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that. I wouldn't do it. Let me just say that.
That's hilarious.
So shout out to the fellas. Keep hope alive. Don't let rejection stop you.
Yes, and women.
The next time you ask her, it might work.
Yeah, hey, if you're really that scared, do my method. Say it next time I see you. Well, you got to actually see the person regularly. You can't just do this when you first time you ever see somebody.
Right, the first time. So next time I see you,
you're in Vegas. Like next time I see you, it's like what? Like I'm never gonna see you again.
Shoot your shot, man. Shoot your shot.
Yeah, but you really should, to be honest, because like
And like low key, I think ladies, that goes for you. Like if you're having a good time, like.
I would say
saying what's up to a dude is not too forward. Like saying what's up and kicking up a conversation. Like if you got it,
like like women, if you like, I'm gonna give them the game.
I'm not saying
if you like a dude,
get the dude. Like even if you get all his information. Like I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
Real talk. If you like a dude, chicks, and this is coming from a guy. If you like a dude and you like don't want to approach him, but you want like him to approach you, whatever or something. You can smile, and like let him know, like, hey, like, like smile, like, give him an eye or something, like let it be very obvious that you like, okay, like.
Like what the heck?
I'd be like, what the fuck? She got something in her eye? I mean,
right?
She got Tourette's or something?
You got a sty? Why your eye look like that?
But you know what I'm saying? Or walk by and like, like grace their shoulder and walk by or something. Like, like let it be.
What?
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, if you want someone to touch, like you walk by and touch them, they're like, oh, and you just keep on walking. Like, so obviously, like,
so
that
now,
girl's kind of
like,
interested.
it goes like from like the eye on the sty eye to like simple assault.
No, this is the problem we live in today. You can't even take a woman out on a date and then it's like, this is ridiculous. That's what people do. I'd be like, bro, what?
I'm just joking.
It's
not simple assault.
Don't open the door for me. That's rude. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Anthony is just saying, like, ladies, touch him as you walk by.
No, I mean, just let them know that you are interested. If maybe they didn't see you or something, maybe they never caught eye contact. Go by and just like. Walk by and like, like or something. Make sure they're single,
Say hello.
Sure single. But yeah, like, say hello and then go and walk. And then they'll be like, oh, why did she?
My advice, ladies, would be like just to say hello. Like, I think if you say hello, like that's enough of a hi, how are you? Hello. You may not have to like graze them as you walk by.
You don't have to graze them, but also you don't want to be that forward in the car. You don't want to be that forward. You don't want to come out to make it seem like you're really interested. Like, you just want to slight.
Like hello is forward?
No, it depends. If you're like, hello, how are you doing? And then really right in the conversation, it's like,
hi.
Yo. You can just be like, for a woman to come, you can be like, oh, hey, how you doing? And keep going by what you're doing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
And they say something, then you can talk back and like, you don't be like, hey, how you doing? So what's going on? And it's like,
I never said that.
I'm just saying.
I never
like,
said that.
But
how you doing? What's up?
No, I'm just saying you don't want to be too forward. You don't want to be too forward in the conversation.
Say hello.
Just say hello. Let your presence be there.
And
then see what happens. And then let them.
And then walk away.
Yes, and then they'll come.
Say hello. Make eye contact. Walk away.
Yeah.
Hey.
So yeah.
Bye.
And if you're, I'm not gonna
do
say
like
that
Anthony said. Actually, scratch that. Do what Anthony said. Give them the sty eye.
Graze
them as they walk by.
Or just give them some kind of message that you could be interested, but you don't want to be too forward.
I mean, I will defer to your opinion.
I'm just saying.
And this.
Like if you walk by someone and you just like graze their shoulder like this or something like that, and walk on. I mean, it's weird for a guy to do that to a woman. You can't, but a girl can do that to a man, and it's totally fine. Unless they're like taking, they're like, what the fuck? Yeah.
All of these things are so strange. Anyway,
yeah, so this is the podcast today.
Thank you for spending time with us today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay up to date with all things Unpack Your Bag Podcast. On that note, last word.
Y'all already know what it's about to do. I'll see you on the next one. Watch out for them crazy folks. Men, don't date unless you have a little bit of money to take a girl off on a date. I'm just saying. Okay? Get yourself together first. And women, smile more. And we it. So until next time, guys. Love y'all. Peace, love, and hair grease. We'll see you on the next one. Scala Heem.